everybody, and welcome to another awesome episode of the Prizecast. Today we've got an episode of the Film Prize AV Club with local filmmaker Camille Gladney. She is going to talk to us about making movies and her 2018 Louisiana Film Prize Top 20 short, Gloria. Good morning, Camille. How are you?
Good morning. I'm great. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get into filmmaking?
Well, I came from a writing background. I got my degree in creative writing from Goddard College in 2015, and a few years later, I started a writers group that one of the members was interested in participating in the film prize that year, and that was January 2018, and that's how I got started. But I'm a Louisiana local, and I've been living in the Shreveport area since the prize began.
That's awesome. We're obviously super glad to have you here, and I want to talk a little bit about this film, Gloria. What inspired you to tell this story?
Well, actually, the story was inspired by my real life experiences, some of them as growing up in the Bible Belt as a non-binary queer person, and some are from the experiences of my loved ones and people that I know, and others are taken from scenes in American history, like the Stonewall riots and the Compton cafeteria riots back in the 60s in the period of American civil rights battles.
So something that I think is super special about this movie is, obviously, I'm also a member of the queer community. I work on the selection committee for the North Louisiana Gay and Lesbian Film Festival. And let's be honest, I've seen a lot of sad gay movies. Everything is bad. Even if they end up good in the end, they almost always have just a lot of trauma. And something that I think is really special about this film is that it's so uplifting and so heartwarming. Tell us a little bit about what made you want to focus on that.
Thank you. It was a specific focus of mine because as a queer person, as a non-binary person, I too have seen the violence, and I've seen the filmmaking tradition of trying to use that violence and tragedy to draw attention to the injustice. And while drawing attention to that injustice is a worthy cause, it can have the unintended side effect of re-traumatizing members of that marginalized community. And unfortunately, we see things like that going on, continuing today, with the queer community and with the Black community. It's hard to strike a line between trying to call out injustice where you see it and also trying to uplift the marginalized community that is bearing the brunt of this tragedy that we're trying to highlight. So something that was really special to me was we got accepted at the Translation Seattle Transgender Film Festival later in 2019, and we got the Audience Choice Award for Best Narrative Short, but even cooler than that was they blocked us in a segment called Trans Joy. And that's something that I really wanted to bring to the table. Films like Hedwig and the Angry Inch were really influential on me growing up. And so in that way, I wanted to add to the national, international dialogue on the subject something uplifting and something that was joyful. So the marginalized people for whom this was truly something reverential in my personal feelings about why I was writing the story, I wanted them to feel good about it, not feel like, oh yes, our community is being highlighted, but it's just us continuing to be brutalized.
I really love that. So obviously we're still in the middle of Film Prize filming season right now. There's still plenty of opportunity for folks to come here to Shreveport or join us in some of our other areas like Ruston, Natchitoches. This year we're statewide, so folks down in Baton Rouge and New Orleans can film there. What, as someone who's done this a couple of times now, what is the biggest piece of advice that you could give to someone who's looking to break into filmmaking, particularly with us here at the Prize?
Yeah, it's to just be brave, fake it till you make it, have that mentality of, I'm a filmmaker, I'm making a film, and use that to fuel your courage, or at least your presentation of courage, when you do get out of your comfort zone and go mix with the local community in order to get that great location, in order to ask your neighbor down the block if you can use their old pickup truck as a picture vehicle. You've got to get out of your comfort zone, and you've got to go ask the questions. One thing that I was really lucky to have on was seasoned veterans on my team. The first time that I ever made a film, I co-directed with Christine Chen, and she really inspired me to get out of my comfort zone in that way, because she would just march up to people while I was just shaking in my boots, and she would just ask a question. Hey, we're making a film. Can we use your car? Or like, hey, we're here. Can we park in your driveway? And she just asked, and people most of the time said yes to everything that she asked, when I was wasting time being mortified to even go ask the question. She just went and asked, and we got what we needed. And so that would be my advice, is to be like Christine Chen, be brave, get out of your comfort zone, ask the question, because it's always going to be a no if you don't ask. And it's a great opportunity to dive in and get started on something you've never done before by just pretending that you're doing it, you're nailing it, and people are gonna just fall in line with your vision.
So you've talked a lot this morning with me about being brave and asking the questions that you want to ask. So I'm going to be brave right now, and I'm going to ask you to do something for us. Some people may not know, but you are also a really talented singer and songwriter. And I want to ask right now if you would be so kind as to sing us one of your songs this morning on the Prizecast.
I would love to. Thank you for asking.
You're so welcome. I'm super excited that you said yes. I, much like you, I'm a little anxious about asking questions sometimes and asking for what I want, but you inspired me to be brave this morning and to ask you to sing us a song.
Well, thank you. I came prepared, and I would love to do that.
Amazing. Tell us a little bit about what are you gonna perform for us?
Yeah, well, this song I thought would be appropriate for audiences right now, all over the world and the States, and even Louisiana up until very recently. If you were in a relationship with someone and you weren't already living with them, your relationship suddenly became long distance, more or less, as we all sheltered in place. And this song was written well before quarantine, but in honor of a long-distance relationship. But I think that more than ever, people can relate to that right now. So this song is called Lullaby. It's scary, but I've got you. Just think about the things you thought you knew before now. How everything comes crashing down in waves around us, urging us to re-examine all we thought was solid. The earth between us, the sky above us, the hearts inside us are open wide. They call me onward, they pull Touch me, and the ground beneath my feet is ether. You can turn the cool and skeptic to a true believer. You're the stuff that dreams are made of. I was born a dreamer. Pull my head out of the clouds, so I'll be there forever. Hang in your smile like a portrait. Decorating corners of my mind, losing hours, chasing moments where I can hold you and stop time. Until then, your lullaby. Until then, here's your lullaby. No matter how far I am, no matter how dark the night, look to the know we're full of the same light. Look at how bright the stars know just how loved you are and how beautiful your soul is to mine. Your soul is to mine.
Camille, one final thing that I always ask everybody, would you do a big hearty Viva with me to close out the show?
Absolutely.
Awesome. So we'll count it off 1, 2, 3, Viva, and then we're going to roll that film, and I hope you all stick around to watch Gloria. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Viva la Film Prize! Camille, thanks again, and let's roll that tape.
Women are taking to trousers in a big way, from plain suits to exciting cocktail creations like this. Even the big...
Young man, whose is this?
I guess it's Frankie's.
Francine is wearing lipstick?
Yes, ma'am. It must have dropped out of her bag.
Well, that's a relief. Aunt Martha was starting to worry.
About what?
Oh, well, your cousin's a little old to be a tomboy. It was cute when you were kids, but when we grow up, men should be men and women should be women.
these?
Those ugly stone gray pants, of course. Oh God, I love these shoes.
Yeah?
Should I strut them?
Come on, let's see it.
Okay.
Wow.
Sam!
What?
Why do you have the door locked when you're with your cousin, man? That's nasty.
Go away!
What do you want?
Give me a couple bucks for the weekend, man.
I'm broke.
Broke.
Why don't you just bum off one of your flunkies?
Why don't I tell Mom about the box under your bed?
Why don't I tell her about the bottle under yours?
Aunt Carol!
Shut up, Jesus.
Get out!
Sugar, you got change for the payphone?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, aren't you sweet? No one ever calls me ma'am.
I'm sorry.
It ain't your fault, honey.
I love your manicure.
Thank you, baby. I do it myself. Seems like no Paula in town will. Besides, they don't always carry my signature shade. Revlon Sphinx.
Pink.
Well, color me impressed. You have quite the eye. You like to dance? There's a party tonight at a place I know. You should come. It's a place where people like us are welcome.
We're closed.
I was just leaving.
Freak.
That's amazing. We have to go.
You know that's not an option.
Not even if you have this? Remember that cow who ratted me out for kissing Helen Nichols? Debbie Double D's. Yep, I stole it from her, and it's the most exciting thing to happen in this town. Can we please go to the party? You look like $1,000,000.
You sure this is the right place?
What's that password again?
It's a sign. It's a bad idea.
Gettysburg. Menswear? Ginsburg. Come on, let's go. Ginsburg. Hey, watch it! Deborah? Francine? What are you doing here? I'm just here to support a friend. Really? What's your problem? Hi, Frankie. Hi, Helen.
Hey, keep your chin up, 'cause we won't give up. The door's up, but sure enough, I'll jump the gun with you. Drive back the darkness, 'cause that's
I have this dance.
shines like a light.
Have this is in my natural. Great. I'm Paul. Lord.
Cause they're coming for us all. Got enough to keep
look around, he's always got something scored away in here. All right, come on, let's go.
You look so familiar.
Actually, you invited me here today at the diner.
Oh my God, Sphinx Pink. You clean up so good. Your boss booted me before I could get your name.
Gloria.
A beautiful name for a beautiful girl.
He's waiting for someone to set me free. But now I see that I was wrong to wait for someone brave and strong and set my own self on the
Excuse me, where's my drink?
I want to go home.
Well, that's too bad because for once in my life, I'm having a great time.
Wow! Let's hear it for the Shrevettes! All right, well now, put your hands together for contestant number 1, Miss Linda LaRosita.
The darkling night fills my eyes. A weary star, fading light. It feels so cold in this empty place without a trace of you. Where has it gone? Out of the blue. I see your face in my dreams. The haunted nights, frozen memories. I walk alone on this hazy road. I fear the ghost of you. Where has it gone? I wait for you.
Oh, Sammy. Open the door! Hey! Get yourself done! Down! Ginsburg. You won't let us in. Thank you. So what are you doing? Okay.
Competition. If you were a tree, what kind of tree would you be?
A whipping willow.
Oh, that's so beautiful, poetic. How about you, dear?
face.
They're rubbing it in my face.
Yes, you dear. Christmas.
They're just dancing.
Are you taking Debbie's side?
No. Can't we just ignore them for tonight?
She tried to have me kicked out of school.
You are being a drama queen. Are you on the rack, Francine?
Maybe I am, but just like a woman, right? But you wouldn't know a thing about that, would you, Samuel?
Sam? In Christ's name are you doing, man?
No, Bubba. Please, don't make a scene.
I'm not gonna let my brother parade around like a fucking faggot, man! Knock it off!
Damn.
Give me some change, I'm calling the cops.
Give him some change, just calling the cops.
Can we talk?
Sure.
I had a blast tonight.
And bar fights have ever passed on yours?
No, not usual.
Then you should stay away from my brother.
Are you gonna be okay?
I can't tell, but I missed her.
When can I see you again?
You hadn't finished singing